Welcome into this new edition of Beyond the Arc here on High School Cube News. Brian Chimino back with you with Michael O'Brien of the Chicago Sun-Times. Big event this past Sunday at Young High School in the city. The Chi-Town Conference Showdown taking place from Young High School. Games all throughout Sunday, highlighted by the main event. It was the Battle of Vincennes taking place on Laughlin. The number 2 Simeon Wolverines and the number 4 Morgan Park Mustangs, and this game lived up to all the hype. Big performances. You can talk about DJ Williams and his 21 points. Marcus Levette putting on 29 for his first big game in the city.
Yeah, the stage was all set. The place was packed. You know, they were turning people away by the end. It was a pretty wild, fun scene, and Illinois fans have to be thrilled. Simeon fans are thrilled. DJ Williams really showed out on the big, important game of the season for Simeon. It's so nice to see. You know, this is what 4 years of his high school career have built towards. He has to be the guy this year for Simeon, and he stepped up and he delivered. You know, and these weren't, you know, an odd shot here or there. He was aggressive throughout the game. He attacked the rim. You know, he shot well. It was just a great performance, and it turns out they needed it. You know, even though Morgan Park shot poorly. I think they were 1 for 17 or 18 from 3, which is, you know, horrible. They even hit a few of those, and they probably win this game. So they needed every single point and every bit of aggression DJ Williams had. But, you know, we have to mention Ed Morrow. He was spectacular again, the best player on the court. You know, 15 points, 16 rebounds, 6 blocks, and the blocks were the key. Charlie Moore and Marcus Levette want to go to the basket. They still tried, but Big Ed was there just swatting stuff away, and that was really key defensively.
Also on Sunday, Whitney Young fans can breathe a little sigh of relief. They got a big win over Orr, 80-66, and Joseph Toy, big game, 17 points.
Yeah, Young, we were confused about them before. They looked a lot better, a lot more solid. 2 freshmen came in and played well for Young. Both the Harringtons played well. They started to get a little bit of an identity. It's going to take a lot more, and they're still missing a lot of free throws. I think they missed like 16. That's going to be a huge problem. They can't beat most teams if they keep missing those free throws. They've got to fix that, but it was a definite step in the right direction.
Speaking of big individual performances, look at Hinsdale Central and Niles of Notre Dame last week, a non-conference matchup, 74-70. Hinsdale Central wins, jumps all the way up to number 7 in the Super 25. Matt Rafferty showing no problems going from football to basketball, 39 points, 10 rebounds. And what about Joe Mooney in the losing effort, 37 points, including 7 three-pointers.
Yeah, we've talked about Joe Mooney a lot. I like to mention him all the time. He's a really fun player, a really good player. But wow, Matt Rafferty, just open up the Player of the Year contender notebook and write his name down. He was that good. He was spectacular. I think like 15 for 17 or 18 from the field. He's a 6'7" big man that is hitting threes. I think he was 4 out of 4. One of them was literally at half court. You can't stop him down low. He can run the floor. He was, I guess he can run the field too in football. He was amazing. And Hinsdale Central, one of those teams, it reminds me of like old Bob Hambrick Simeon teams. They don't dribble unless absolutely necessary. They'll take their 2 dribbles to get over the half court, and then they just whip the ball around until there's an open shot. It was a really impressive performance. Don't be surprised to see Hinsdale Central in Peoria. That super sectional alignment came out. It's not super stacked. They could be able to get through. Hinsdale Central is for real, and Notre Dame is too. You know, they gave them everything they could handle. Notre Dame's real good. They just couldn't handle the size Hinsdale Central has.
And also number 9, Lake Forest going 2-0 last week with wins over ranked Lake Zurich, and then later in the week against Libertyville. But the big story coming out of the Libertyville game on Saturday was Evan Boudreau becoming the all-time leading scorer for Lake Forest, 1,497 points, and he's just a matchup nightmare right now. On that game on Wednesday against Lake Zurich, 31 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah, he did what he usually does. It was really interesting to see Lorenzo Edwards. I think he's gotten a lot better. He's going to be a key all season long. If they continue to have the 2 solid big men like that, it's going to give Stevenson some problems. You know, they already gave Stevenson some problems last year. That was interesting. Lake Zurich, you know, they kind of lived up to it. They were good. You know, I wasn't sure, hadn't seen them yet. They had some nice results, but, you know, kept them in the rankings this week. They can shoot it. They can do a lot of things. They aren't turnover happy. They're going to be a solid team all year. I think they proved a lot, even in the loss.
So a lot of big games last week going on in the Chicagoland area, and a lot more coming up as we preview the 5 things to watch later in the week here on the website. We've got some holiday tournaments coming up, and we'll preview 3 of those next week on a new Beyond the Arc. Also on Tuesdays, if this show is not enough for you, our 5 minutes of talk, you get a half hour with Michael O'Brien and Joe Henriksen as you can download the podcast No Shot Clock It's available on iTunes, Stitcher, and all your podcast formats. So for Michael O'Brien, I'm Brian Chimino. We see you guys later.